You stand at the threshold, 1,000 choices, a menu endless, an aisle overflowing, a perfect life just one click away. More options, more freedom, more happiness, right? Then why, in this era of unprecedented abundance, do we feel so paralyzed, overwhelmed, miserable? The promise of endless choice often delivers not liberation, but a subtle, pervasive dread. It locks us in an invisible cage. We are constantly told that more choices are inherently better for us. The conventional wisdom dictates that increased options empower us. They grant us autonomy, allowing us to precisely tailor our lives. Yet for many, this perceived freedom has become a profound burden. It transforms the simplest decisions into agonizing, drawn-out battles. This is the heart of what psychologists call the paradox of choice. It's the counterintuitive truth that an abundance of options can make us deeply unhappy. One primary reason lies in the sheer cognitive overload and decision fatigue it imposes. Every additional choice demands precious mental bandwidth and focused energy. Think about standing in a supermarket aisle faced with 20 brands of cereal, or scrolling through endless streaming services after a long, exhausting day. Our brains are simply not wired to efficiently process such a vast array of possibilities. As Professor Barry Schwartz, who famously articulated this paradox, observed, the fact that some choice is good doesn't mean that more choice is better. We exhaust our decision-making capacity on trivial matters throughout the day. This leaves us mentally depleted when truly important decisions arise later on. We feel trapped, not by a lack of options, but by the overwhelming weight of their presence. This constant mental strain is a key component of building our invisible cage. Beyond the fatigue, too many options dramatically amplify our feelings of regret and anticipatory anxiety. When faced with numerous choices, we inevitably ponder the paths not taken. What if I chose the wrong one? Was there a better option I overlooked? This creates a gnawing sense of what if before we even commit to a decision. And once a choice is made, we often suffer from buyer's remorse, second-guessing ourselves. We torture ourselves by imagining superior alternatives that might have existed. Even if our chosen path is good, the mere existence of other possibilities diminishes our satisfaction. As Nobel laureate Daniel Kahneman pointed out regarding our cognitive biases, we can be blind to the obvious, and we are also blind to our blindness. We become blind to the satisfaction of our current choice because we're too focused elsewhere. This constant internal comparison, this fear of making a less than optimal selection, it erects formidable bars around our inner peace, truly forming an invisible cage. Furthermore, an excess of choice inevitably escalates our expectations to unrealistic levels. When presented with countless options, we begin to believe perfection is attainable. We meticulously search for the absolute best, the ideal outcome, the ultimate solution. This pursuit of maximizing, rather than simply satisficing or finding good enough, sets us up for almost guaranteed disappointment and profound dissatisfaction. No single choice, no matter how good, can ever live up to such inflated ideals. The existence of other options becomes a constant benchmark for perceived failure. Schwartz explains this phenomenon by stating that the more options we have, the less satisfied we become. Our joy isn't measured by the absolute quality of our choice, but by its superiority over the alternatives. And when there are too many alternatives, the chance of finding the best is statistically negligible. This relentless chase for an elusive perfection is yet another layer of our invisible cage. Finally, the tyranny of opportunity cost weighs heavily on our decision-making. Every choice we make inherently means rejecting all other available options. With few choices, the missed opportunities are minor and easily dismissed. But with an abundance, the perceived value of what we forego can be immense. We don't just choose an item, we implicitly choose against countless other items. The mental anguish of considering all the potential lost benefits becomes overwhelming. This isn't about the objective loss, but the subjective, imagined value of those unchosen paths. It binds us to a constant state of comparison, eroding the satisfaction of our actual decisions. We become so preoccupied with what we might be missing, we fail to appreciate what we have. This continuous mental accounting of potential losses keeps us firmly within the invisible cage. It prevents us from fully embracing the present and finding contentment. So, how do we break free from this insidious, invisible cage the choice has built around us? How do we reclaim our peace of mind and find genuine freedom in our decisions? The path forward is not about seeking more options, but deliberately choosing fewer, better ones. It's about intentionally simplifying and embracing the liberating power of constraint. First, identify and prioritize your core values, your non-negotiables in life. When you understand what truly matters, countless choices become irrelevant. Use these values as a powerful filter, sifting through the noise and focusing your energy. This clarity of purpose instantly reduces the mental clutter of excessive options. Second, practice the art of satisficing, learning to accept good enough. Release the exhausting pursuit of maximizing, of finding the absolute perfect choice. Embrace the notion that good enough is often not just acceptable, but optimal for your well-being. Remember, perfection is often the enemy of happiness and progress. Third, impose deliberate constraints on your choices. Curate your environment. Limit your shopping to specific sections, or decide on a small, curated wardrobe. Pre-select a few movies or books to choose from, rather than endless scrolling. By consciously narrowing your field of options, you empower yourself, not restrict yourself. You reclaim mental energy that was once squandered on overwhelming decision-making. Fourth, actively delete choices that no longer serve you or add genuine value. Unsubscribe from newsletters. Declutter your digital and physical spaces. Simplify your routines. Remove unnecessary apps or reduce commitment overload. Each deletion frees up mental space, allowing for clearer, more intentional decision-making. By applying these strategies, you can begin to dismantle the bars of your invisible cage. You can transform the burden of overwhelming choice into the liberation of intentional living. It's about understanding that true freedom isn't found in limitless possibilities. It's discovered in the wisdom of deliberate selection, the peace of good enough. It is found in the joy of truly choosing rather than being chosen by your life. Embrace fewer, better choices and unlock a clarity, contentment, and freedom you never knew you lost. Break free from the invisible cage. Reclaim your power. Live with purpose.